What's going on, world? It's the BingeWorthy Podcast. My name is Johnny Randolph, or you can call me Randy, and I am a speaker, a trainer, and a podcaster. And I've got three dope-ass co-hosts. My first co-host, well, she's an actress, she's a writer, she's a director, she's the dynamic diva. Say what's up to the people, Miss Cortney Scott Wright.
Hello. So glad to be back tonight.
Absolutely. And my next co-host, he is a game designer, he's a serial entrepreneur, and he's part owner of the Geekish Network. Say what's up to the people, Chuck.
What's up, everyone? I'm here for the Squid Game. Here to play the game.
And my next co-host, man, he just cool, right? You take a picture of like cool and it's just him just relaxing, you know what I'm saying?
Dang.
He's doing that, right? So, he's also an actor, he's a writer. I call him the game spitter because every day on Geek Beast and every week on Wednesdays, you can catch him spitting that fire. Say what's up to the people, Syntell.
Yo, what's crackalate? Squid Game, baby. Yo, this has been like the Super Bowl for Netflix. I don't know if it's a fail. I don't know if it's a victory, but we're going to break it down tonight. I can tell you that much.
Yep.
All right, man. And we are the BingeWorthy Podcast. And as Dave let you know in Crosstalk, tonight we are talking Squid Game. Now, the premise of our show is that each week we will binge watch a television series and then we come right here to the podcast to discuss that series. And then at the beginning of the show, we will rate the property based on our unique binge-worthy scale. Our binge-worthy scale is at a 5. It is a full binge out. That just means that property was awesome. It's one of those ones where you watch in 1 or 2 full settings. You might spend a weekend cuddled up with your boo on the couch and you all just watch all the episodes. It's just dynamic and out of sight. Now, the next one is a 4, and that is a full meal. While not quite a binge out, it is definitely worth the investment of your time. You will enjoy this property significantly. At a number 3, we have a mini meal. A mini meal, well, it's not bad. It's just not good, right? It's kind of like bland. It's Cortney called it a TV dinner, right? It's just edible. It's okay. It's like, whatever. And then at number 2, we have a snack. And a snack is, man, I'm watching this because ain't nothing else on. The NBA's over with, the NFL's over with, ain't no new movies coming out. It's in that transition where Netflix ain't released anything. You just watching it to stop from falling asleep. And at a number 1 is a cringe-worthy. That's some old bullshit. And as I say every week, Chuck, why the hell did you recommend we watch this? So, with that being said, we're going to rate Squid Game. And I'm going to start off with you, Syntell, man. How are you going to rate Squid Game?
All right, listen. I've been down this path regarding this type of content before. The GOAT, and still is the GOAT to me, is still Battle Royale. They were the first to do it. I think they're one of the best to do it. But I also have to acknowledge the fact that a lot of that becomes because it was one of the first, as far as the United States being introduced to this genre, it was one of the first times that we've been introduced to that. So it may not have been as amazing as I seen from before, but I enjoyed Squid Game. I did. It wasn't binge worthy because I'm always thinking about Battle Royale, but it was definitely more polished to me. It looked prettier. And you got a chance to jump into the depths of the character a lot more. So I'm going to give it a full meal. It was a full meal.
All right, so we got a full meal. Chuck, how you gonna rate Squid Game?
How I'm gonna rate Squid Game out the box? I give it a 6, baby. I'm giving it a total binge out plus some. I'm gonna give it a total binge out plus some. And the reason why is this: people compare it to Battle Royale, but they're completely different movies. Battle Royale was a bunch of kids that knew each other in the school that were assholes to their teacher who set them up to get killed. and they had a game where only one of them can live. And in Squid Game, how the curve was, you could quit at any time, and the people that got killed would get the money. So how deep is your greed? Battle Royale was not about greed. Squid Game was about greed and the need to get out of the debt you set yourself in that you could never get out if you lived through it. And so it's a completely different movie. Also, Battle Royale is like a kung fu flick that came on USA Cable. Squid Game is Ip Man. It is Ip Man. The dialogue, the trappings in it, the foreshadowing it gave, it was amazing. It was highly predictable because I watch all kinds of games. I watch all kinds of movies like this. This is not the only one. Alice in Borderlands, Squid Game, Gone 2, Gaunt Zero. I watch all these movies, and I was totally impressed by it.
Okay. All right. So you gave it a binge out plus
Yes.
one, but we're gonna keep it at a
Yes.
binge out because that ain't scale.
That's
I know
not a
you-
real scale.
I know you're the boss, but you just can't be changing the scale like that, man. Whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna rate it. And to all my South Korean brothers and sisters out there who blowing up the internet, don't hate me, but I'm giving it a snack. I'm giving it a snack, man. I am. It's so many tropes in there, and I didn't think it added anything new to it. And the characters in it, they just did not resonate with me. I didn't care for anybody. One person. I cared for one character in this entire series, and I kept knocking my head like, God, they're stupid. Like, why they keep doing this? And it just nothing resonated with me. And by the end of it, I didn't care who lived, who survived. And that last episode just seemed to carry on and on and on. It was 50 minutes of absolutely nothing to me. So I'm giving it a snack.
Okay.
And Miss Cortney Scott Wright, how are you going to rate Squid Game?
Well, so here's the thing. This wouldn't be my choice. And not because I don't like foreign cinema. I do. I love it. You know what I mean? And there was something about it. I don't know if it was like all the hype that was irritating me. And everybody's like going in on, like on Squid Game. So I went in, because we were watching it. It definitely was not binge worthy because I would have quit. I really would have. Like Randy said, the characters were they just weren't they didn't add anything new to the narrative. There wasn't anything incredibly engaging about the hero character. He did have an arc, but he still fell kind of flat for me. There was only reason I'm not gonna give it a snack is because of episode 6. Episode 6 was very strong. I thought the acting was incredibly strong. So I'm giving it a mini meal just because I watched it and I appreciated, I'm literally in between a snack and a mini meal. But I had to watch it on fast speed. And I've never watched any series on fast speed. I was like, I need this to move. What's happening? Why am I still here? And when they were back in the town with their people, like I was like, can we get to the game? I just need them to get to the game because then at least something is happening. The energy, the tension, the stakes are raised. Just watching them in their regular lives, I didn't care. I really didn't. The only one I cared about was the girl, Saybok. Was that her? Was that her name?
Who was in the game?
Yeah.
I'm not going to attempt any name because I will royally screw it all up, and I don't want.
But I was rooting. I was like, I really wanted to come down to her and our hero, and then him sacrifice himself for her. But the tropes were very, very predictable. I did figure out. Yeah, the only thing I didn't figure out the ending. But I did figure out the masked man was the person that our other hero was searching for. I figured that out like 3rd or 4th episode in. So I was like, no, let's just get this on. So yeah.
All right. So you gave it a mini meal.
Give it a mini meal.
Many men. Okay, so I mean that's really diverse. No, that's everybody got different scores, so that's interesting. If we round all the scores up, we got a 3.5. So I guess we can round that up. It's a full meal if we round it up. And we're going to discuss it and see maybe our discussion can influence somebody to change their opinion. So just a quick rundown. The premise of Squid Game is the series centers on a contest where 456 players drawn from different walks of life, but each deeply in debt, play a set of children's game with deadly penalties for losing for the chance to win 45.6 billion. Was it won? They were called won.
Yes.
And that equates to roughly, I think it's like 32 million US, around $32 million US.
Okay. Yeah.
I was wondering what the translation would be. So, okay, so hey, I could do 35 million. That'd be all right. So we talked about it a little bit earlier in crosstalk. So who watched it the English dub and who watched it in the Korean subtitles? Anybody? So I watched it in the English and it was terrible. It was just terrible.
I bet you it was.
That's probably contributed to your.
It probably did because.
Yeah, why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't you remember the conversation we had when I
with
told
Jujutsu Kaisen?
It was like I had to
I don't
switch.
know.
And
Maybe
nobody, y'all didn't believe me, but then once you realized, you were like, became believers. What happened, Randy? You were a believer.
I don't know. I just know I watched it in the original English version, and that shit was just terrible.
So you missed a lot of things.
I might have, and I just didn't have time. Usually I try to watch both of them, but I just didn't have time.
So yeah, they complained about the English dub, didn't catch the nuances that were actually put in the English subtitles.
Right, and subtitles versus the closed caption.
Yeah,
I watched it in subtitles. I made a point to not put on closed captioning, but subtitles.
Yeah. So subtitles, and the subtitles come to capture the nuances of what was going on in the characters' lives. So the game itself, I found very interesting that they got this one to 456, because that is an auspicious number in Korean,
right?
And
I was wondering.
And it's an auspicious number. They do have value.
Why?
4, 5, 6.
Why is the number auspicious?
Because it's the number itself. The actual number itself is auspicious. It's like something special about it. So
because it's literally 4.
You probably think so. I think so, and that's why they cut it off. They could have got more people. As you know, they were out there recruiting other people to come back to come play the game if they wanted to. Because they've done this game a number of times, and what made it
starting back from 1999.
And what made it stand out to me was 001. So I knew that character was special. I knew that character.
I did too.
The moment he came on the screen, I was like, "Oh, this character's special. He's probably the person." For me, I thought he was the person that created the game and who had to sacrifice himself to play the game. So that's what I normally thought, because in a lot of survival movies like this, the person that creates the game has to kill themselves so somebody else can take over. There can only be one. It's kind of like a Sith Lord type of thing.
He was one of the characters.
And the ending to me blew my mind. I was like, oh, shit. This is next level. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait till we get to the ending. I'm going to change all y'all's mind on the ending. Oh, man. Y'all have the depths of this ending. Is like, okay, I get it.
Well, hold on. For me, I was thinking that because when I saw that this older man was number 1, what I kept thinking was, why would they recruit this older man, this really old man first? Why would they recruit him first? I was like, there's something about him that he would end up being number 1. It never really fit for me that he was chosen first for some reason. But yeah, I mean, it was a lot like Death Race. Do you remember the movie Death Race?
Yes.
Where it was the criminals and they were trying to, like, whoever won, then they got freedom, they got pardoned or whatever.
And the last person chosen was chosen for a reason too.
Well, wasn't
that remains to be known? That still remains to be known. Still,
it's already hypothesized.
Was there a reason?
Yes, right. Yes, there is.
But we'll talk about it.
We'll go through this.
No, I need you to tell me now. Like, what was the reason? Was there a reason why he
So
was
so when he went in, when he took his mother's credit card, he went in and he
Yeah.
went to the ATM. He says, "I think it's my birthday." He put in 10/26 as his birthday, right?
Mhm.
And so when the old man said, "I remember this village. I remember being here last 2 days before my son was born on 10/24." So the old man is the main character's father. That's why
And
he
that's what I
popped up
thought, but
on
that was
him.
never
Yeah,
that was
he
never
never acknowledged it. He
established.
never established it. We'll probably get that if they do a second season. Korean
What?
movies, yes. So,
I thought it was his father too, because he kept
yes,
saying, "I'm walking through the village."
and he
He was
kept
like,
saying,
"Yeah, I'm walking through the
"The
same village.
I walked
I
into
grew
the
up in
same
the
village.
same place."
He's like,
Yeah,
"Yeah, my son was born in a house like this on 10/20, 2 days from today." What's today's date? He said 10/20/24, and he's like, "My son was born 2 days after this date," and he went into the ATM and he put in 10/26 for his birthday. So that was his birthday. And his mother said, "Your father left us and never came back. Like, he was rich and left us poor." Yes. And so I was like, "Oh, this is very interesting. This is a very interesting take." So he never put it together. So the old man was playing him the whole entire time. So the old man was like, "I'm the first, and my son would be the last to enter this game."
I didn't know any of that. That's
Yes.
awesome.
It's fucking amazing. Fucking amazing. Hell
that
yeah.
He just added a whole
Hell
different
yeah.
layer.
Hell yeah. So
Wow,
different
okay.
layer.
I don't know.
Whole
It's
different
not
layer.
confirmed, but there were clues that he was his father
Mhm,
throughout.
mhm.
I didn't
Yeah,
peep
No, there weren't.
none
Yeah,
of
there
that.
were.
It
Yeah,
doesn't really help
Yeah,
me.
they
And
were.
I'm
It
It
helps
doesn't
me
change
because
my
his
score.
student. I didn't
Because
get
then
none of
honestly,
that.
it kind of makes it worse for me.
because
I
he
don't know
kept
why.
saying, like,
Go
"I
ahead.
grew up in a village just like this." He's like, "Yeah, I grew up in a village just like
Yeah.
this," and he's like, "My son was just like this." He was like, they had a lot of shared similarities
Yeah.
for them to not have any connection.
Yeah.
And I was
And
like, "Is that his
And he,
father?"
he protected the old man, but the old man, when they were raiding the place and they were stabbing up each other, the old man, they actually pulled him out of the whole entire mess so he couldn't get killed there. And so when the old man stood on the thing, he was the main boss was like, "Let's go in there now.
Oh
We
my
have to go in
God,
there
I
now."
can see it now.
It's so
because he did
brilliant.
randomly when they
There's so many
all
random
got a
things.
chance to go back home, and my man's just having his beer sitting outside of the shop. He just randomly pops up.
Pops
And he's
up
like,
for
I
him,
just
yeah.
happened to holy
Be in his
shit, Chuck,
neighborhood.
you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're
yeah.
right.
He said,
Oh my God,
he said, matter of fact, you can have some food with me.
But
I didn't even
My
peep
son
that.
liked this type of ramen.
Yeah, I
He
remember
said,
him
"My
talking
son-
about my.
my son
Yeah, I
liked it."
remember.
Yeah, it
there
was
were
so
certain-
good. I was
Oh,
like,
man.
"This shit
But
is
is that-
brilliant. This
You
shit
just
is
blew
so
my mind on that
brilliant."
Is that
That's
good
dope.
though? Aren't we past Luke? I'm your father.
Are we?
I mean,
Are
I
we?
am.
I'm asking. Yeah, I think so.
I
It's like,
am.
I mean,
Half the
we
people didn't
got-
catch this. This was not in your face.
I didn't catch it.
Look, a
I
lot
pride
most people
myself on
missed it.
catching
I'll
that.
catch
Most
it
people
because
that's a
missed
here's
big
the
it.
thing.
reveal.
I didn't care. I didn't care enough about them for that to really register. And that's the
Man.
problem. That's the problem for me. And it wasn't just because he wasn't likable. He irritated me. His poor mother is like shuffling on her feet are
Yes.
like destroyed. And he,
Yes, she has
you know,
diabetes.
like he was an asshole. Like he was an
Yes.
asshole in those
Yeah,
first, like,
absolutely.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
I
was
agree with
like
that.
from that point on, there was no.
But that's Korean storytelling. That's Korean storytelling where people
I
are
don't.
people.
I understand and I respect the way that they tell their story. That you tell me they tell the story, but I was out from that moment.
I was in. I was in. I was
and
like,
then
this
the fact
person's
that he
fucked
didn't-
up.
I didn't. I was completely out. The only thing that could have redeemed, and then it was even more heartbreaking and depressing. And when he gets home, his mother's dead.
I
Like,
love that. I loved every
It was
bit of that.
beautiful. It was symmetry, but it was horrible in the sense of like.
And his
She
daughter
died.
was gone. His daughter's family.
His daughter wasn't gone.
I thought his.
He hadn't been gone a year. He hadn't been gone a year.
He hadn't. He's gone only
His
a
daughter
couple of
wasn't
days.
leaving until the year.
Oh, that's right.
Later.
That's
His daughter
right.
was
Yeah.
still there.
Yeah, he just didn't visit her. Yeah.
Yo, I thought his character arc was dope because he was a jerk. He was an asshole. He was selfish. He sat and gambled on horses' lives And then it's brought back like later on.
The old man brings it back.
I know his father brings it back. He's like, you gamble on horses, like, and we gamble on you just like you gamble on horses. And you go back and you think, you're like, dang, this dude, it started off with him betting on horses in order to get rich and make money. He's doing the same thing his fucking father did. Oh my God, this is great. And so then he's an absolute piece of shit, right? He's a terrible father. He blows his daughter's money on gambling and then gets robbed and then gets some other kid to win the prize because he's incapable of winning the prize. He didn't
even look at the prize. He got the one in the box.
Because he's an asshole.
The prize is a gun.
It's a gun.
The prize is a gun on top of it, right? It's violent. That he meets her and then he's absolutely losing everything. He's an asshole and he loses everything. And all of his redemption is in the game. It's all in the old man. It's all in the relationship that he has with that lady. It's all in the fact that he admired somebody that was a part of his community, that he thought he made it, and he found even more of his self-worth from somebody that he had already
did he though?
Such a high
because
stature.
he did scam the old man during the marbles.
And the old man calls him out on it.
And he called him out for it.
I'm not talking about the old man and what the old man calls him out. I'm talking about the fact that he did it. He decided that this man was unworthy because of his dementia, and therefore I should take these marbles.
Ain't that what he's supposed to do?
But that's what you're supposed to do. It's the complexity.
Is that what you're supposed to do?
Yeah.
If you're gonna die for somebody that's already
like his kid.
No, I'm not saying he shouldn't have died. I'm just saying you play the game. Play the game. Don't cheat.
But his father called him
then
out.
He's looking at his friends saying woo, like he's somebody terrible when you literally did the exact same thing.
My problem was
Chuck, you killed me with it.
I thought he was too soft throughout it. I was like, at what point is he going to realize this is a game of survival? What point is he going to realize this is a game of survival? And he was just weak to me.
Yes. He never got strong until he talked about the guy he helped growing up to be a genius, and he had to take him. And he couldn't even kill him.
Win a prize for his own
he still couldn't kill him.
Still couldn't kill him. The guy had to kill himself.
No, but I like that part. I like the part that
I hated that.
Kill him because it came back down to the girl, say Book, because he was gonna kill him at that night.
Yeah, and she was like, "That's not in you.
That's not who you are.
Yes,
that's not who you are."
She saved him, and she turned around and got killed by old dude. No dude was like, "She's gonna die anyway."
Which is what he's supposed to do.
Yeah, I was about to say we can't get away from the basic foundation.
Right, that's what he's supposed to do.
Like,
the world is somebody has to die.
Right.
We can
and
you can say kumbaya all
if it's
you
just
want,
two
but at the
of
end
us,
of the day, somebody gotta go.
It could be two of us to say we're not gonna get this money, and everybody gets the money.
God,
everybody gets the $1 million
shit.
to save themselves and to their families.
Together,
so all these people, so 455 people needed the money to survive, right? And at any given moment. 456
because the man doesn't count.
Yeah, the man doesn't count. It's his game. So he was like, we could quit at any given time and give this to all the families.
I love the power
and
of
it
choice.
Would save them.
Yes.
Giving them the money would save them and cover the loss they felt from the person they'll never ever see again. And everybody was like, fuck it. I'm riding with this. I'm taking it all.
Once you went back the second time, you're officially a gladiator.
Yeah, you are.
And that was my problem. He's the one.
But
the old man is the one who hit decline. He hit the decline, so people would have to go home.
It was said he palpitated.
He
palpitated. He knew they were going. He knew they were going to do it.
And he said,
and the part when he had to pick your partners, when it was 1-on-1, and he sat off.
That was.
Oh my God!
Yes, because he knew he would go back to the. He knew he would go back to the room.
That is my favorite game because everybody would choose. Everybody was choosing.
He knew he was going to be saved.
Yeah.
But you know what? The fly in the ointment was old girl, and she didn't get picked, and then he had to play, and it was like, oh shit, I gotta fucking play because you got to bet on yourself that nobody's gonna want because you're the oldest, weakest person in the room, and that was his out. And he didn't get the out, so he went right back to his son and then got right back in.
But his son came to him. But he came to him. Yi Yoon
amazing.
Came to him.
It's amazing.
Yes.
I saw
can
that.
we stop talking at once?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Can we stop talking at once?
I'm gonna shut
Please. Yi Yoon came to him after he realized that it was going to come down to, like they were, you had to be partners with somebody, or somebody was the one man out was potentially going to die and be killed. and he didn't want him to be killed because at that point, nobody knew what the game was, you know? So him being chosen to go in there, I think the whole time he was always going to let him win and not let him win. He was going to sacrifice his opportunity to play the game so that his son could continue the game. Yeah. Which is interesting.
That a sucker move. Like, why is he picking the weak guy? I don't know. Why
did he pick the weak guy? I think that was the whole thing. He didn't necessarily think he was weak. I think that Ji-yoon thought he was weak. You know what I mean? And he was trying to prove to his son that he's not weak. But he had to know that.
People they came back to this game. Why is everybody not acting like it's death or life? And you got to be out here in these streets real. I don't see. There's no rules to it. The one bully guy was right. He was like, nigga, there ain't no rules to this shit. There ain't nobody going. It don't matter what order this goes in. It's like if you want to get past, then you come move me, right?
Yeah, that was my second favorite episode. It was episode 7 with the glass.
Yeah, but he got it. I mean, and the guy that everybody hates and despises, the best friend that ends up. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, he gets it.
He gets it.
Like all of the problems that people have regarding the right and wrong and morality and all of that goes out the window when you decide the second time. Right. The second time.
Yeah, I didn't have any problem with the violence. I didn't have any problem with the morality.
No, I'm talking about the morality.
No. I didn't have any problem with the morality. It's a movie. You know, it's a TV series. So you're showing up to watch what is the gimmick and what is the stick of this particular show. You know, and it comes down to morality and equality and is your honor going to be your downfall? Essentially, is that going to be the hill you die on, quote unquote? Mm-hmm. You know, and I did appreciate that saying woo, like that whole. I knew the Squid Game was obviously going to be the last game, and then when he started that game on kind of gangster, like he really did, like. Yeah, I know what I want. I want the damn triangle because you chose the triangle last time. You figured out what it was. You didn't tell me what it was, bitch. So I'm going to take the triangle this time. I appreciated that. And then when he came back and he was like, no, I choose offense. Then he chose offense. So the other guy had to defend because he wanted to be the aggressor. And he was out there making moves until he realized, you know, it's like until he had his like come to Jesus moment, which I was like, I was taken aback, to be honest with you. I was like,
yeah, I'm like, if you don't kill this dude,
or is he gonna kill himself? One of these two things. I'm very confused. These are the two options. And he at no point do you stab him.
Yeah, and he was gonna walk away from the game. Like we went through all of this, and neither one of us is gonna get the prize. Like
neither one of us get the prize. Man. Yeah.
Go ahead.
And the beauty of the game itself was the game master didn't have a problem with his people harvesting people's parts and selling their parts. He knew they were doing that. He had a problem with them cheating the game. You set up the doctor to help him cheat the game so he can harvest parts for you. That's my problem. So he killed.
I had a problem with the harvesting parts altogether.
I had a problem with the harvesting parts. Completely.
I didn't have it at all.
It was a secondary storyline that added nothing. It added nothing, and it didn't take anything away. It was literally a throwaway storyline.
The whole thing was this: he said, "I didn't have a problem harvesting parts with you because I know those parts are going to go to good. They're going to go to people that need them." I had no problem.
They won't. They're going to go to people who can pay.
Who can pay for them, but they're going for people that need them. You still need them.
But you still have to people who need necessarily.
Yeah, that ain't right. Yeah, a bunch of rich people get them.
Morality. More rich people, exactly.
That's that's the game of life. Like we think about how we look at our body donation. Like people donate their bodies to science and donate their organs. Who do we think those organs go to? People that can pay for them. They're not going to the poor person.
They're never going. Whether or not they donate their body to science, they chose to donate it. These people did not choose what happened.
They chose to play a game that led them to death. And in a country that cremates everybody, it doesn't even matter. You'll never see that body again. It's a country where they have 100% cremation, so it doesn't matter.
I'm not really feeling the argument.
I don't.
about the
I-
rich
no,
people
that-
is
that-
getting-
So it
No,
goes to rich
exactly. The
people.
argument
They
It's
doesn't
did.
work.
it's the
Nah.
parasite
Well,
argument.
rich people.
It's the parasite argument that wealthy people always win. Wealthy people
I-
watch poor people kill each other over money, and they
Okay,
win.
here's the thing. Number one, that to me was that the fact that this is a country that cremates everybody, that wasn't known to me.
Yeah.
That
I
wasn't
mean,
known
Japan,
to me.
same way. They cremate everybody. There's very
it
few
doesn't-
places
it
that can
doesn't
bury
matter.
people.
Wait,
'Cause-
Chuck, let me
Mhm.
finish.
Go ahead,
She
go ahead.
said you made your statement
Okay,
about
go
this
ahead,
is what
go ahead.
happens in Korea and Japan. The fact is, regardless of whether or not it happens, and that's known to a select percentage of people, it is not known to me and does not necessarily, maybe it would have affected my opinion while I was watching it, but in that particular instance, this is a game about rich people watching the voyeurism of watching them play the game. I don't necessarily need this added layer of more rich people stealing from people who yes, they signed away there for indemnity or what have you, but they didn't necessarily sign away to have their organs harvested, and then you make more money off of that. That's my problem. The storyline just didn't work.
I don't feel them selling it to rich people. That's not. That they did it.
If you're gonna donate it to the
it-
hospital just in general, maybe.
It
but
wasn't
no.
rich people making money off of them. It was poor people selling the parts to make money. So the guards and stuff were poor people too, who were actually oppressed by the game master and the owners of the game. Everybody was a player. Everybody, it's like society. Everybody's a player in this game.
It didn't enhance the story in any way. It didn't move the story along. It didn't move the story forward in any way.
Once you sign that document for the second go around, all this stuff, everything y'all talking about is moral stuff. That's all morality. Once you signed up for the second round,
yeah, man,
morality is out the window.
Actually,
you signed
it's
a
not
contract.
morality.
Not only does morality go out the window, and not only did the fact that what happens to your body doesn't matter, you signed a binding contract that said, I'm down for this.
Okay, so that's your point.
All that goes out the window.
That's your point. You signed a contract with the game master. I did not sign a contract with his workers. I didn't sign a contract with them. No. Your argument is you signed a contract. The workers went outside of the contract. They went outside of the parameters of that contract.
I'm talking about the contestants.
You are. No. You are.
I'm talking about the contestants.
So am I. Let me finish my point. You're talking about a contract that the contestants signed with the game maker. He did not make the same. They didn't have a contract with the employees. If it's stated in there, my employees are going to harvest your organs and sell them on their own behalf and sign away, then yes, you are absolutely right. But that wasn't in the contract.
Let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question. Given the quality and the world that this Squid Game involves, you think that the creator of a secret game that's off on some secret island in the middle of nowhere that the rest of the world has no idea about, you think that because the person died, they have some moral obligation to do right by your deceased body? That's what you're telling me?
No, that's not what I'm telling you. The argument you made was that it was morality and that they signed a contract. That was the argument you made. It doesn't have anything to do.
I said there is no morality.
No. You said they signed a contract.
Yes.
You said that my issue is morality. It's not morality. It's actually it's legalities. You told me.
There's nothing legal about this game.
No.
There's nothing legal about this game to begin with.
You put it in terms of legality. You said they signed a contract. And what I'm pointing out to you is they did not sign a contract that specifically stated my employees are going to harvest your organs. That's what I'm saying. That wasn't in the contract. That wasn't a little side note. That wasn't a sidebar. That wasn't a little thing. It wasn't in there. My point is,
we have no idea what was in the contract regarding that. That absolutely
they do.
Be in the
Actually,
contract.
there was a scene.
Is there a screenshot that shows the contract?
No.
We see some
when the employees are talking about it, and they said it's not in the contract, but they signed this contract, so therefore we can do whatever happens and where we want to.
These are people who kill people for their job. I mean, they kill people for their job.
This is an ecosystem within itself, and with all ecosystems, especially when you're dealing with money, there is a black market.
Right, because
What we are bearing
I'm
witness
questioning
to
that you
is
said
the
it's
black
in the
market.
contract, and
It
they had a
is in
right
the
to do
contract
it.
for them to
You
sacrifice
said they had
their
a right
lives.
to do it because it's
They,
part of the
they,
contract.
you don't have the right to your body anymore
Well,
once you willingly decide.
Well,
to
the
go
game
into
master,
gladiator
the
combat.
game master said that. He said, I hung the people up because they cheated the game. They
Right.
helped the doctor.
Right.
They didn't break any of the rules. Based on what you all signed.
Harvesting the organs
Was
wasn't
not,
breaking
not,
the rules.
was the once
They
you
said
said
they cheated
people
the
signed
game.
up. He said they cheated the game because they helped the doctor, not because they were harvesting parts. He said I had no
No,
problem
he
with
didn't
them.
care. I understand that. That's not my argument.
He said they didn't
My
break the
argument is
rules.
He said it was in the contract. I hear what you're saying, but you cannot say that it was private. He just didn't care.
I don't
That
think he
wasn't
just
an
cared. I
argument
think
for him, and I respect that.
I think it was
my
like
point is the storyline didn't move the story forward.
I agree with you on that. The body harvesting was a non-issue. It didn't move anything forward. I agree with you on that.
yes.
So
I do agree with you on that.
So then what about the cop who infiltrated?
That's how the cop infiltrated us through the body harvesting.
So that, and then we get the big surprise at the end that it's his brother.
Well, hold on. He infiltrated it by becoming one of the employees. He didn't know they were harvesting by. He just took over a triangle.
Yes.
He just took over. He just stole the costume.
Yes.
He really didn't know what he was getting into.
No.
He just knew. So my
Did
brother
that
was
have
in
any
there, and I need
impact
to find
to
out
you
what
guys?
happened to him.
But
Did that?
Say that
Because it
again.
meant nothing. It meant nothing to me. To find out it was his brother, it meant nothing to me.
I figured that out literally 3 episodes in. I was like, that's his brother.
And I was like, this is again, Luke, I'm your father. I was like, so what?
yeah, I think it came
How does
to.
it help? How does it help this story?
I think it's just another layer of the game. Like in a lot of Asian storytelling, they have like multiple storylines go on. Some of them never get completed. They just like you happen to run into this thing. And he ran into he was number 29, and number 29 was fishing, was diving organs all the way out to another boat. So that just happened.
Coincidence.
It was total coincidence. So that's normal in Asian storytelling. Like coincidences like that happen all the time. Like it didn't have to happen, but it happened.
I had a question regarding the brother, and this is how I interpreted it, and it's kind of loose. For me, when the younger brother went to his brother's room and he was looking through all of his stuff and trying to get clues, I could have swore that there was some context that his brother was a good person and who just disappeared, and he's just trying to find this brother who he admires and he's trying to help. So for me to discover that somebody that he looks up to and it does have some type of morality influence within the overarching story.
He lives by a code.
To see that person turn to what is considered the dark side of this particular tale shows like, what is it about this game that could turn my brother? What is it that can make this particular choice? Is it just money? We could assume that it's just money. Is there something more to it? Because the old man pulled something out of the game that had nothing to do with money. It was the antithesis of that. It was the opposite of that. It was to find value and worth of your life. So what is it that made this man turn? Is what I pulled from the cop's brother being a part of the Squid Game itself.
Yeah. And also the brother, we're not sure what happened to him. He got shot. We know that. And he fell off the mountain. But the brother, the older brother took off his mask to show him it was him. And that's against the rules.
Well, he didn't show it to him because his was kind of like
he didn't show it to the men, but
the
men
men
saw
behind
him take his mask off. They didn't see his face. They saw him take the mask off. Is the point you're making, right?
Yes.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
He took the mask off, and he's not supposed to, because he says, like, they killed the one guard. He said because he took his mask off. You never take your mask off.
Right. You never let them see your face.
Never let them see your face. Yep.
Well, if that's the case, then they didn't see his face. He just took the mask off.
His other guards didn't see his face, but his brother saw his face. His brother saw his face, so he had to kill him.
But that's the bridge, because the guards saw old dude's face.
Killed him. Mm-hmm.
The guards, when that guy took off his mask, the contestant turned him around, so the guards also saw his face. You see what I'm saying? So everybody saw his face. The contestant saw his face, and the other men saw his face. So therefore, you got to die, because people can pinpoint you. But here's my number one problem with the whole brother, Cain and Abel situation. Okay. Number one, Kane could have solved this whole damn problem by just calling him saying, yo, man, I'm gonna be out of town for like 6 months. Peace out. Okay.
How long was he missing for?
He never came back. It was from the it was from the 90s. He never he won the game and never came back. He won.
They didn't say it was from the 90s.
No,
I know he won the game.
He went to
his apartment.
Yes.
It couldn't have been the 90s. He went to his apartment.
Yes, yeah,
like
that's true.
Okay,
that's true.
He was like, yeah, somebody been paying rent for 20 years. He's like, she's only behind a month.
Or maybe he hasn't seen his brother, but his brother played the game. He knows brother played the game in the 90s and took over.
But the brother hasn't been missing that long. He's only been missing for like a couple weeks.
They didn't say how long the brother's been missing, have they?
He was like, okay. I'm missing. Yeah, I think he did because
he may have. He
knew that the landlord said he's been gone. You know, he's a month behind. You trying to pay this? Because he knew it only.
That's true.
To him, it only been a couple weeks.
That's true.
Let me ask y'all a question real quick.
So
I don't know the answer. The initial guy, the initial recruiter that was slapping the shit out of old boy. Who was he? He wasn't the brother, was he? No, he was somebody.
Just some guy just recruiting people.
He was just
we see him in the last episode as well.
We see him in the last
episode.
Yeah.
Right. But okay, here's my other caveat problem with the brother situation. And this does kind of go back to what you were saying, Syntell, about what changes you? You know, what changes you in order to you become this dark side situation. His younger brother gave him his kidney, right?
Yeah.
The younger brother gave his kidney to the older brother. It wasn't the other way around, right? It wasn't the older brother gave him his.
No.
It was the younger brother gave him his kidney.
Yeah.
So this is a man who you are literally alive because of him, because he gave you his kidney. And he came looking for you. And you still he gave him an option. Like, come join me, join me and we can do this shit together. And he didn't. Took him out. So without hesitation, took him out.
Yes.
Let me ask you guys something. So we think.
We think. Yeah. Well, he shot him in the heart.
Yeah, he did shoot to kill him. He did shoot to kill him.
Area. He fell.
God told me it's not dead until you see the body. But, okay.
And proof that is the old man. And proof that is absolutely the old man.
So,
that's true.
The older brother won the game, and then he goes and works for the company.
Yes.
Are we seeing a foreshadowing of like what might happen to? Was it Jen? Because maybe that happens to
Jion. Yeah.
But Syntell said, how does the game change people? It changes people. So really weak.
And that's why the last line to him was like, take your ass on that airplane, because I know you're getting on the airplane. Take your ass on the airplane.
Right.
Yeah,
they're watching him.
They knew
like they're watching him.
So,
well, obviously they're watching him because they knew he didn't spend the money. He didn't spend a dime.
He didn't touch a dime.
So he's coming back. Is that possibly what happened to like the older brother to make him transit? Like, what happened between them to going from winning the game to now working for the corporation? Yeah. And do we see the same thing could possibly happen to Gene?
Let's first of all, we're doing a lot of speculation because
we are.
Asian television has a tendency not to do second seasons. They let it shit go. It's like, I would let it go.
Yeah, because second season on this has not been confirmed.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Right.
Yeah. But it's hinted at. It's been hinted at, but it's not confirmed.
Boy, Netflix is begging them creators right now. Please give
they're offering them the world right now.
Are, right.
But here's the thing. Like, if you think about it, like Ji-yoon, this bitch took a year. Went back to his old life, was panhandling, looking like a ragamuffin, like not doing anything he was supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? But what he was expected he would be doing. And then obviously he's been watched, it comes back to the old man. And then, he has this like prolific moment. It took him a fucking year to go back to A, Sang-woo's mother, and B, Say-bok's little brother. Little brother been chilling in the home all by himself for a fucking year, not knowing what happened to his sister. And your bitch ass you could at least done that shit. You could have
called or something.
And that's why I'm like, his character arc was not that fucking solid. I understand.
I loved it. I didn't
think he had a character.
Everything
I thought he was the same bitch ass that he was from at the end. I really did.
That's what made him dope.
And what was did the red hair have does it have a significance or something?
I didn't get that. That one missed me.
It was just something different. It was so different.
It was just something that I think that sometimes the younger kids, you see them doing. I see a lot of
Okay.
influence with color and hair and not just like in the Black community, but also in the Asian community.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I was just wondering, did it have any
and the
sort of
white community
significance
now.
or anything transition to
No,
anything?
I think it's just him being just trying to do something different than what he normally did. It's like I'm just stepping out of myself on this one thing, and it's
And if I
safe.
win
Right.
$35 million, I ain't going back to nothing.
He went
Right,
back.
but I
Mother
mean,
died.
35 million US, but over there he got 45 billion won.
Yeah, that's what I'm
If
saying.
you
I
saw
don't know
that
how
little
far that
suitcase,
goes, but yeah.
there's a little suitcase he gave the mom. That wasn't 45 billion.
No,
it
You
wasn't
didn't
that
see him
45
giving her
billion.
all the money. He
And
was
I
like,
was
"This is
thinking,
what I
like, if
owe
she don't
Sang
get this
Woo."
suitcase, if she don't get
And
this
close
suitcase
that
to
shit
get out of there,
Yep.
because somebody walked in the street, see
And
that, oh, they killing
apparently
both.
I
he
did
gave
like
he
that
gave her
moment.
just enough to cover what her son would have won if since he died. It was like, this is what your son would have won if he died.
Okay, and that makes sense. That makes sense. And that was a good scene. I actually enjoyed that scene. Her dropping him
Yeah.
dropping. But
Yeah.
I was like, if you don't pack this up,
I wish
get out of here.
I wish you would have gave her both
I liked
suitcases, like what her son would have won and what the girl would have won.
Oh, and say book.
Say
But it was
book
two
would've won.
halves.
Yeah,
It was two halves.
probably it's probably
You know what I
one
mean?
probably one on
It
each
was
half.
probably one half for her and
One half for him, probably so.
And I'm a little
Yes.
with Courtney. It took him a year to do that shit. Like, so this
He
He was
whole
broken. He was so
It'll be-
broken. He was
But
so
like, she could
broken.
have died in the
That little boy.
transition and everything. I was like,
I mean,
And his
the-
mom died 2 days before. 2 days before he got out.
yeah.
That's his mom died 2 days.
Yeah, he was
Took him a
broken.
little.
He was so broken. I mean, at the end of the day, the bank called him in and was like, "Look, we got your money. We want to do something with it." And he was like,
He asked the banker for 10,000.
"Yeah, for which was
well, that was
$100.
funny.
$100.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
do you have it?
Oh, that's $100.
It's $100. Yeah, it's $100. 10,000.
100,000 won is
Mhm.
$100.
It's
Oh,
$100.
10,000.
10,000. Yeah.
Okay.
It's $100. It's like 10,000 yen is $100. You know, 1,000 yen is $10.
But see-
It's like they count like all the pennies, and then they don't have a decimal point, so we just put 2 decimal
So
points.
okay, because he won 4 million on at the track.
yes, he had enough to cover his debt.
Yeah, he had enough to cover his debt, but
But the girl
So,
stole
her-
it. Shorty
She
stole
stole
it.
it, and then she paid it to the coyote. I'm assuming what would
Yeah.
have been the equivalent to a
Yeah.
coyote to get her mom back.
Her
And then
mom
he
back.
Said, oh boy, like got lost or whatever.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that was that 4 million won that Odu just squandered. You
Yep.
put a knife to his
Because
damn neck.
everybody
That's
entered,
amazing.
a lot of people entered the game for different reasons too, and I found that very peculiar. Like he had
Yo.
he had a failed business, got divorced, and fell apart, and then he went to gambling, and the guy that he grew up with, who he helped, who he beat in the Squid Game in a very, very opening scene, because that's supposedly been them in a very opening scene. Had a business, actually hustled people out of their money, and got caught. And then the girl was trying to bring her family over. So everybody entered the Squid Game for a different reason. Like the gangster was there because he was stealing from his big boss and got caught.
Yeah.
they were
Right.
to kill him. They were there to kill him.
So everybody
Ran away.
entered this game for different reasons.
I want to know about the husband and wife.
Yes, how they entered.
I wanted to know their story because how they both ended up there together. I think their story.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, if
And
you were gonna
they
kill
came in
yourself, you
together.
should let her live.
They
You
came
should
in.
have
Yeah.
given her your fucking marbles.
That was been
Yeah,
it.
if you felt that guilty about it, I agree with that.
Exactly.
To me,
Because after you
there-
win the game, you have to make a decision after you win. People don't realize that. After they won the marbles game, you had them declare the winner. They wouldn't kill you unless you declared the winner. So
I
you
thought
could beat them.
They just showed you the
No,
marbles. If you had all
that's
10
declaring. You're
marbles.
declaring the winner. I can say I won, boo, but you're getting the marbles because I need you living for our kids.
Right.
And he didn't do
Hey man,
that.
the Pakistani getting killed. That one kind of touched me a little bit.
That
Ali?
one hurt me.
Yeah,
Ali.
he was real,
Ali?
and I know that's what
I
he's
loved
supposed to do, but I was like, damn, that was
I loved
shitty.
it.
And I saw it coming.
And
I
it-
saw it
yeah.
coming, but
He had to go.
it still hit me when it actually went through. I was like,
He's
oh.
an embezzler. That's what he does. He cheats
Yeah.
and lies
Yes,
and
she's some
steals.
lies. Yeah.
I was mad at Ali because Ali won. He literally won.
Yeah, I was like,
Same with the other dude who was the henchman to Snake Dude, fucking Snake Eye.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he won. Fucking
This-
Snake Eye.
But this ain't that. He won it by the
Send me to
rules.
it.
He didn't use violence. He didn't snatch it. He willingly So I mean, the rule was you can't use violence and you have to come back with the other person's marbles.
Yep.
How that happens is up to interpretation.
No, I wasn't talking about Ali anymore. Yeah, Ali. I mean, literally, like he lied to him. He told him he gave him a bag full of the half and half, and I mean, he just lied to him all the way around. Like nobody is gonna like.
Ali was gullible,
but Ali wasn't built for that. Not for that.
Yeah,
well, no, at that, and like he was so beholden to him. He was still thinking about, you gave me your car fare to get home. You gave me your extra like bread. You know what I mean? Like you're such a good guy. Like you take care of me. You know, like
I know it was supposed to happen that way, but it got me. That one got me.
Die first.
They do. You know, and I hurt. Ali hurt me just because he was stupid. Yeah. Because he had such a good heart. I'm actually talking about the Snake Eyes dude.
The Snake Eyes dude.
Snake Eyes dude. Old dude got down to one marble, just playing the regular game. And then Snake Eyes convinced him, let's play this other game where I get another chance. No, bitch, we finishing this game. Yeah, you got one motherfucking marble left.
This game.
We finishing this game. Let me get that one marble. Now I think about it.
I had a bit of a problem with that because he was protected because you can't use violence. And dude was laughing in his face and like, get your marbles, this, that, third. You're like, we're gonna change the game. I'm like,
he asked, and he asked,
and he asked, and there's nothing you can do about it. I didn't get that part. That part.
Because there's nothing.
A lot of people just wasn't built for this. It was like, do y'all get if you lose, you die? Like,
that's the bottom line.
That's it. Like, I don't. How many times they've killed hundreds of people. You've witnessed hundreds of people getting killed. Like they're not playing. They're not playing, Bill. Like,
people we got the value of this game. Like literally on the first game, over 100-something people died. Like 187 people were murdered.
The red light, green light.
Yep. Yeah. And people went back in there. And it's like, I'm coming back. They said they had an 80% return rate for this one.
Yeah. Yeah, 83%.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Here's the thing, and this is what bothered me with the glass one. And the glass one was my second favorite one. I was looking at the distance between. Obviously, maybe you can't reach the one on the left, but you could reach the one on the right. You could have. Why did no one? Only the one guy who worked with glass said it sounds different. You can knock on it, and tempered glass sounds different than regular glass. Why didn't anybody knock on it?
I didn't know that. Better than that. I wouldn't have done none of that. I would have just walked on the railing and then made it back.
There was no railing.
There was the railing that was holding up the glass. Yes, there was the railing in the middle that's holding up the panes of glass. I'm like, why is nobody walking on the railing? I don't get that. That's the part that frustrated me. I'm like, that's
they stepped in the middle of the glass.
Walk on the railing.
But the railing was it?
It's really thin.
If the railing can support a human being.
But it was an open space. It was
like you had 2 feet. Yeah, put 1 foot on one side of the rail and 1 foot on the other side and walk the railing. I never got that. I was like, I thought that was the thing. I was like, oh, the railing must be electric. That's what I'm thinking. Well, I'm like, the railing must have some fail-safe, but they never hinted to any of that.
No.
Nobody tested the railing.
Well, nobody thought about it. I'm sure there was. The dude was like controlling shit. He literally turned out the light so he couldn't see the refraction. Like so I'm pretty sure you would have found out that damn railing was fucking electrified.
That pissed me off when they cut off the lights. I was like, damn, them little man can't win, dog.
That's the whole point.
Just one step of the game. All right, guys. So we've talked about this ad nauseum. So we're going to re-rate it again. All right. I can
still keep going because there's a lot of things we didn't get a chance to really talk about the games. Which one of the games?
We've been talking an hour.
Which game you want to talk? Which game was your like other than those two? Those two were my favorites.
To me, so the game to me that changed everything to me was Tug of War. Because up until Tug of War, your fate was your fate. Mm-hmm. You know, be it red light, green light, you didn't have any guilt about anybody else's fates. You held your own destiny, and your destiny didn't really directly affect anybody else's. Even when they was licking the sure thing, your fate relied on you. Yep. But it wasn't until Tug of War where you are physically responsible for the demise of somebody else. To me, nothing was the same after that. Because you are killing these other people.
That was the game changer for me.
That was the game changer.
It was the one that made me care because it was a cliffhanger, and then you started back up with the next episode.
That's true.
Yeah,
I love the Tug of War.
I just like the way
and it wasn't you who won
because that's the way we used to play Tug of War, was to have people on opposite sides. in order
And we
to
should have knew
anchor.
something was up with the old man then when he was talking, when he was giving game about how to win the tug of war. We should have been like, okay, this
He's
guy
like,
been
I'm good at
around
this game.
right. We should have been like, this guy been around the block. It's something
Yeah.
going on right
Initially,
here.
I thought he was the old man who's always played the game and always won the game, and he just came back to re-win it. It's kind of that's better battle royale where they always bring the one character back who's like, I go to all the
Yeah.
battle royale and I'll win them all. So I'm here to kill all you motherfuckers. Like they battle royale did that twice. They brought in a new student. They brought in a kid. They're like, you're not in our class. He's like, no, I come here all the time to kill everybody. I'm out. And he walks out the room, and I'm like, that character is the one you got to worry about. He gets his bag and looks at everybody. All y'all going to die, and he walks out.
And that was the thing, like, just kind of the first time you seen them forming in teams. Like they had to build the team. You was like, oh, everybody might got, or I don't know. You maybe thought something was going to happen where the teams were going to survive, but
What about the crazy Asian woman, Han-Mi?
oh, she annoyed
Yeah,
me.
yeah, she was annoying, but she was.
I thought she was gonna do more. I was a
I
little
did
disappointed.
too. I was really disappointed.
Yeah.
When she killed those dude, though, it was awesome.
That was pretty good.
That
Like,
was-
oh, we're gonna die. We're gonna die together.
Oh,
And you knew that as soon as she grabbed him, she was like, okay, this is her promise that if you screw over me or betray me, I'm going to kill you. You knew that. As soon as
Yeah.
I
she
knew
said-
that was coming. You know,
Yep.
she told him.
That's
Yeah,
a
she
long.
Crazy as fuck.
What
I wanna know
was
why
scary
she was in there. I don't
was
think she had a
those
baby.
drops, like those drops of tug of war, and that drop off that thing. Like that's a horrible way to die.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
And I love
Right.
how they left the bodies there so you could see it.
See him, yeah, like
You know,
oh,
so
that
you
was-
see
oh.
what's going on.
saw
Like,
that
that is
one.
your fate. Yeah.
And you
Oh.
saw that one, and he went legs first, and his legs just collapsed under the pressure. It was just like,
Ugh.
oh,
Oh yeah.
And then they blew up the glass. They blew up
They
the
blew
glass.
up
That
the
was
glass. That was
That was
foul.
fucked up. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, I didn't
That
like
was
that
that
either.
was. I mean, I
Yeah.
get that there are no rules to the game, but that was fucked up because it's like they
Oh.
all made it, and then
Except
she
to the
died.
dinner.
Hold on a second. I'll tell you the real. We're no longer in in Kansas anymore, Toto. Bruh, lights out. The brawl.
The brawl was on. The brawl was
oh, the
there.
brawl.
If
When
you
they came
had
and grabbed
any
those first
doubts
bodies.
of where your standing is, of who's with you and who's not with you, the brawl set the tone.
Yes.
It's like
When they
no,
came
this is
in and
not your
grabbed the
friend.
bodies and the
Yeah.
money failed, they were like, "What?
right.
This is
Yo,
how
and-
this
Yeah.
works?"
And there's one more moment too. Yo, when Buddy killed dude in cold blood, and everybody's like, nobody's gonna come in here and do anything. Nobody. And then you can see the light bulb go off on
Click
everybody's
everybody
head.
in the
It
room.
went
It's
off
like-
on mine. I was like, oh shit. If you
Yes.
can, they
I was
can
like,
kill
you
each
can-
other and
they
get
can just
money.
kill each other, then that's
Yeah.
Ah,
And that's what
literally-
pissed me off too about whatchamacallit at the end when old girl
Yes.
was dying. He's knocking on the door, like, come save her.
literally
Come
woke
save her. I
him
was like,
up.
if they come there, they're gonna kill her ass. That's like what you're the last three and you still don't get this, fam. You
Yeah.
got
You still don't
survive.
get it. You
Yeah.
still don't get it.
And
That's
that's
why
the
I like
thing.
Cho's song, like the
Yeah.
the best friend. He was
Sang
the one
Woo.
that got it. Sang Woo, excuse me.
Yeah, because he
Sang Woo.
said
He
y'all
was
would,
the one that got it. Like
Right. They've
this is
killed
survival.
453
he was like, because y'all would
people and he
call a
still
vote to
hadn't got
save
it.
her. You would call a vote to save her. Y'all two would say no, and we would lose this whole entire opportunity. It's only us. three.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's why he just
Yo,
got on my nerves.
Yo,
And I
but here's what's crazy about saying, whoa, when they had the first vote, he was the main one talking about, are we going to sit here and play this game? Are you for real? He was the main one that was trying to convince everybody to not play
Play
the
the
game.
game.
And then
And
he
then
got
the
to
money
he got to
fell.
the real world and was like, I need to play the game.
No. Before that, then the money fell because when it got down to him actually voting, he voted to stay.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
you know who the final vote was too? The final vote to send
Was
everybody
the
home?
old man.
The old
Man,
man.
old man
Yeah,
sent
we said
everybody
that.
home. We said
we
that.
said that early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said everybody.
Oh,
so
yo,
I
that
don't
dude
know.
is so-
if I'm out here on these streets and I'm struggling, and I'm really struggling, and I got a shot at 35 million,
all bets are off.
I might invest in myself. Like, yeah, I can sack up and do this, right? I
That's
don't
what
know.
Sang-Woo
I don't
did.
know.
Sang-Woo was like, listen, I came to ball.
Yeah.
I came
I don't know
back.
what y'all came to do, but I came
Yeah,
to ball.
35 million is a lot, man. That's a lot of
And I'm
money,
not mad
man.
at him. I wasn't mad at him at all. I'm like, this is the only dude
that's
that
tax
gets it.
free, man.
And what made it really great? The old man said, let's play another game. At the very end. And nobody comes to save this guy and he dies. And people are speculating that old man set up for the guy to send the police to come and get him. The person to come and save him just to make John He feel good.
I mean, he's Palpatine. I can see
yeah.
Yo, quick shout out to the chat. Yo, GSN77 said they blew the glass to remove the people who might still be standing on the glass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they blew the glass.
Also said they did not specify it was tax free. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, and
tax free because it was just all in this account.
No. He put it in there on the card. He put it in the account, but the police. Here's the thing, like that. Obviously, it cannot be tax deductible because otherwise they would be like, well, "Where'd you get this money?" And then people would find out. So nobody did. But also, it comes down to like what happened with the cop. The fact that he sent those messages to his commanding officer and nothing happened in that year. They started that game like it was nobody's business, which tells me A, the police are in on it and probably getting like payoffs, or B, like maybe the messages didn't go through, but I think that they did. I just think that this is which also lends me.
I think the people that are wearing the colored masks, the triangles, the square, and the circles are probably police officers.
I do too.
Probably.
Yeah,
I absolutely.
Why they were filling them organs because they was. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
And if I worked in a company like that and I got a chance to make some extra money on the side.
Yep. Especially when the guy at the top really didn't care.
I'm already killing people. So
it's the best way to keep it secret because anytime somebody says something, if the police force is in on it, you could just dismiss whatever those claims are. You can not show up at those places because like they were driving around in the vans and it's like 400 some odd vans on the road snatching people up. I'm like,
rolling one after the other, just rolling through the streets like a caravan.
That authority, maybe the people doing it.
Oh yeah, and with this type of money and power, like it's not just they're not doing this by happenstance and luck.
No,
it's well orchestrated and planned.
The people that watch the game are wealthy people that fly in to watch it.
Right. They're billion. They're the power brokers. Yeah.
Oh, when he was like, if you satisfy me in 5 minutes, then I'll do something. He grabbed him by his dick and balls and was like, if you satisfy me, I might let you live. That old fat bastard. I was like, that's what you get.
Exactly what you get.
That is.
And we know the old man is in billions. Ain't no telling what he are. He's probably like part Don Corleone, part Trump, part Bill Gates, like all those things all in one.
You know what's so great? The old man didn't even put on his mask, and you're not supposed to have your mask off. And the game master saw him and was like, there's nothing I can do to him. He's next level.
Didn't he see each other's faces? Then he knows. Obviously, he knows the game master's faces.
Yeah,
face. Singular.
Maybe they all come in the mask, right? They all wear a mask.
He played the game.
Yeah, he did play the game.
The game master played and won, so obviously he has to know who he hired him.
Maybe he may not have seen the old man without the mask. He may not have seen the old man without the mask. He's like, you're not playing anymore. I'm not here for it anymore.
I thought he was maskless. I thought that the game master was maskless after the dude took off his rabbit. After old man took his rabbit mask off, I thought they were looking each other eye in eye.
They did. The old man took off his mask, and that's not, like he said, you never take off your mask. Nobody takes off their mask. The old man didn't even put the mask on. He put it on the table.
Right.
And so he could. Game master was supposed to kill him.
Face to face, weren't they? The game master was also with maskless. He was also, so they were like eyeball to eyeball.
No, was he in his mask? But he walks into the
room. That's my question.
Yeah, he was in the mask. He was in the mask.
He's not. I mean,
he was in the mask.
I'm not gonna bite the hand to feed you. Okay, he was in the mask. In the room though, when the old man died and he came in, he was in his nice suit, which I feel like that might be the reason that he turned on his brother, is that old like kind of father figure, which he obviously, I'm guessing, didn't have, and yet now he finds it in this old man.
Maybe he could have had a great father and he's just an asshole. And that's just how Korean dramas work, because this is how real people are in real life.
But here's okay, last question, and then we can revote. Old dude, game master, won this thing in 1999. Did he blow all his money? Because he's living in a low budget apartment where nobody, like, he can barely pay his damn rent. Is that why he's back working at the game? Because
I mean,
That's a good point.
honestly,
we don't know his reason.
I wouldn't say that's a low budget apartment because he is in Korea. He's in Seoul, Korea. So that could be like a $6,000 apartment depending on what part he is, and that's how
You
they
walk around
look.
with the equivalent of like $30+ million.
I know it. You can do better than that. You can do better than that. You can. But maybe.
I think whatever it is that turned him made it not about the money, because I think that to me, the overall arching tone is when the old man said, "This money don't mean nothing. It's for him.
Playing
It was
the
all the
game.
thrill and the rush of being with friends and playing these games. They're children's games. I mean, let's not forget that all of these.
And
are
that's the
children's
insult
games.
to injury. It's children's game that they're making them risk their lives for.
Yeah, he did all of this. He knows he's on death's door, and now all of a sudden he wants to relive his youth. That's why I think he's an asshole. I'm like, you could have done this when you was in your 40s, homie. You gonna do this now and then put everybody else's life on the line?
He's like, I'm dying, because he told him my story is true. I am dying. I do have a brain problem, and I wanted to play the game. I wanted to play the game every year. I do this game because they had one for every year. So every year, and probably multiple times a year, we do this.
Did he play it every year?
No, he didn't play. He didn't play it every year.
That was the
They
first
had
time he
they
played
had
it.
the game. They had the game every year at minimum. We know there's multiple years, so they had them all lined up in the books. And I'm like,
That's
this is
why
interesting.
He's had 20+
host.
years of knowing this. That's what makes him even more of a jerk.
Yeah, but that's
Palpatine, baby. Palpatine.
The whole reason he started it was because he was bored with life and didn't have anything. So he and his friends got together and created this whole tournament situation. And then, he found out, I think when he found out his life was literally like
on
ending,
out.
and he was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and
play this shit. I'm gonna play this game. See what
it's all about. See what the fuss about.
Remember the smile on his face and how happy he was
every single
that first
time.
Game? That dude was like, red light, green light, baby.
He was good. He smiled during the tug of war. When they panned over them and they're all leaned back. I mean, he was always smiling.
Smiling the whole entire time. Giddy.
Oh, I can't stand
even when he was playing Marvels, the only
game.
time he frowned is when they were playing Marvels. He says, "You didn't have a problem cheating me to get these Marvels to win."
Yeah, I thought that was such a poignant moment.
He went some real gangster shit.
He faked his mental condition. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I knew he was faking the whole time.
Yeah, me too.
I thought he was faking because he wanted him to not feel bad about losing.
Yeah, he was whooping his ass. He was whooping his ass.
Some sort of weird morality.
And he's like, I'll give you my last marble.
So when he pissed himself, was that real?
I think he pissed. I think that's part of it. I think that was part of it. Yeah.
Yo, but you know what else I just realized too? Okay, so the old man gave dude his jacket, number 1 on the back, as if to say you're protected.
You're protected.
He's gangster. I feel like he's
he wasn't protected.
He wasn't, but was he not? I don't know. All I know is he wore the jacket and it's plain as day.
He said they'll think you're weak if you don't have number 1. If you don't have
if you don't have a jacket,
they'll think you're weak.
A jacket, they'll think you're weak. Because he wrapped his jacket around his waist.
He wore his daddy's jacket. That's what I'm saying. He wore his daddy's jacket, and it said number 1, plain as day on his back.
We've got a lot of speculation here, man. We still ain't sure on the daddy thing.
I don't know that was his daddy. I haven't bought into that. He did wear the jacket. 100%. That's the only thing that is accurate. I'm not buying into the daddy saga.
Do we need another? Well, we do. We need another bet. Do we need another binge wager bet?
We haven't finished the second. Bro.
Okay, we got to do
Sir Charles.
Oh wow! Oh, we're gonna do it. We'll do it when I come back from Kentucky.
So we've had binge wager bets out there, people. The first one was what was the first one?
The old dude's gonna get with the white girl, and he didn't.
Yeah. What show was that? What was that?
Warrior, man.
Yeah,
Warrior. Titanic
so
moment.
Syntell and I lost that one.
Painting pictures.
Yeah. Now Chuck and Cortney got one because you tie somebody up in saran wrap and they could escape.
And
so
sweet.
So the next one is
Sweet Tooth.
Yeah. So the next one, I guess, and we'll have to wait a while. We'll have to put it on the back burner. is the old man whatchamacallit's father. So if we get a season 2, maybe we get a reveal in that one.
Yep.
God, man,
But this is
it
Korean
brings
drama.
everything together.
If this is Korean drama, they're like, oh, everybody thinks it's the father, so we're not gonna make it not the father. So they would do that because they have because in Asian cinema and Asian television film, they have just orphan storylines throughout them. So we'll never know, probably.
All right, now can we re-rate this thing?
Yes, we can. Let's re-rate it.
All right, I'll go first since I do that. I'll move my rating up from a snack to a mini meal. I'll make it a mini meal.
Okay.
Y'all had some good points out there. Didn't necessarily endear any of the characters to me, but it was some good points out there. And I am interested in the whole father thing because I thought that at a few points. So yeah, I'll move it up from a snack to a mini meal. Syntell, how you gonna rate it, man?
Okay, so listen, because of this new information regarding the father thing, if the father thing is true and it does become a part of the canon and we find out later on, that's absolutely binge ready. Absolutely. Absolutely. That element changes everything. But if it's not, then I still stick to my original to my original ranking. So for now, because I want to believe that is his father, because golly, that changes so much. It's binge worthy if that's his pops.
All right.
It's binge worthy.
Binge worthy. All right. So Chuck, what you got, man?
I told you I give it Bingeberry +1. I told you. I told you. It was very predictable, but I was like, oh, that's savvy. That's smart. Okay. I can see this. I start connecting things like, okay. I love this stuff though. People know I love murder mysteries, and this is my genre. So yeah, I love this. So
It's Dynamic Diva. How you gonna re-rate it?
It's definitely not binge worthy for me because I still had to watch it on 1.5 and I did not binge it. I would not have.
That's
I would
fair.
still have episodes left
fair.
if I didn't have to finish it by today. I didn't finish it until this morning, to be honest. So yeah. So I mean, I'm struggling. It's still in between a mini meal and kind of a full. It's a meal.
We need your rating.
We need your rating.
I mean, you can eat it. You can eat it.
You can eat it. You can have me. Can I
That
just
is
have
not
a
a-
meal?
That is not a rating.
Mini
That is
meal,
not a
full
rating.
meal.
I need a rating.
Oh God. Oh man. I guess okay. I'm gonna be generous. I'm gonna give it a full meal.
You don't gotta give it a full meal if you want to keep it a mini meal. If you want to.
Man.
So you went up.
I went up. I did.
Alright.
I went up.
So we all went up. Oh, okay.
Except me.
Well, you were at the highest thing to go. So,
I know it.
All right, so that puts it at 4.25. That's a solid full meal.
Okay. So full meal.
Yep, solid full meal.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Chuck, you got anything to say, man, before we head out?
No, man. I like I said, I literally watched this show in a day and an hour. I took a nap. I watched it at 3:00 in the morning, took a nap, woke up at 6 and finished it. Finished the last episode.
I restarted episode 1.
I was like, this
3
is
times.
amazing. At first, I was like, this is so predictable. But I was watching, I was like, oh, this is amazing. Okay. I'm reflecting on things. Oh, man. I think it's going to get good. Because we didn't even talk about the girl. And I had so many thoughts about the girl. But we'll do that. We'll do that. Yeah.
You know why? Yeah. I mean, it's definitely, look, it's a meal. But I'm going to say full meal. But when I have to scroll forward to see, do I want to continue watching this? And I scroll forward on the Netflix lip to see what's coming, to see if that's going to be entertaining for me.
Mm-hmm. I mean, by the time we watched it, it was super hyped. It was super hyped.
Syntell, man, you got anything to say before we head out?
Yeah, I love fighting with y'all, and I love the patience that y'all have for me to allow me to stand on my little soapbox and scream to the high heavens, whether I'm strong, wrong, or not. I'm just grateful for y'all that y'all like to fight with me, and that's why this show is fun. So,
it's just me. It's
big
just
shout
me.
out to GSN. No, it's not just you. You just be like, oh no, I ain't gonna take that
Hold on.
fight with you back, and I love that. I love that. Thank you.
GNS 777 said, if we love Squid Game, we should watch the Bollywood movie Luck. I'm totally agree with that. I saw the trailer for Luck. I'm down for that. We may have to watch Luck on a live stream.
Well, we are definitely gonna write that down.
Thank you,
we write
GSN.
that
We're
down.
gonna write that down.
Hey,
That's a good
thank you so
call.
much, GSN, for 777.
That
And for
good
those that
call.
are going to watch the replay, please make sure you check us out. It's way
Yeah.
more fun live if you're watching this on replay.
Courtney, you got anything to say before we head out?
No, thanks to everybody in the chat. Thank you for like chipping stuff in. There were a couple people that sent us some tidbits, and I'm just so excited that we're connecting with people. So please come back. We're excited.
Yeah. We love it.
Cool. And we're doing What If, right? Next
What if
show,
next
What If?
week? What if? Boy,
What
it's
if?
got some
All right.
choice. Got some choice.
What
for
if?
that.
So we're gonna stick to that. We're gonna stick to our guns. We
What if it
change
ain't as
up a
good
little
as
bit.
everybody says it is?
Yeah, all right. So yeah, we're gonna do What If next week, everybody. So tune in to hear our analysis and our take on What If. That concludes our show for today. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. As always, we want to give a shout out to Digital Click for all the great artwork that they do. They keep us looking fly and keep us looking good. Please follow us on Twitch. And if you love what we are doing, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you have an Amazon Prime, you can link your account and subscribe to it using your Prime Gaming. Now, this won't cost you 1 red cent. But that shit means the world to us. So please do it. And tomorrow we've got Geek Beast and Origins Illustrated. Origins Illustrated, it's our female perspective on all things comic book and geek. Our sister here, Cortney Scott Wright, is one of the marvelous co-hosts on that show. So please tune in tomorrow. And also the brothers from Geek Beast, Syntell and Chuck, gonna be holding it down again tomorrow too. So please turn in. Hey man, come back and see us next week. What if? Same back time, same back channel. We'll talk to you guys later. Peace.